Welcome to the Shield Football Podcast. I'm your host, Fredo. With me today is that boy, Josh, and that boy, Jerron, and Steven in the back, running things like always. What's up, guys?
What's going on, Fredo?
And not much, man. What's up, Jay? How was your Christmas, man?
Pretty good. Got everything I wanted. Worked a little bit. A lot of football to watch. A lot of games. NFL dominate this weekend. Definitely.
Absolutely. How about you, Josh? How was your Christmas, man?
Man, it was good, Fredo.
Yeah.
Good. Chilling with the family a little bit, getting some rest, eating some good food, watching football.
I know,
Can't
man.
beat it.
I know. I was playing football, man. Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Jeez, that was a lot of that, man. But, gentlemen, man, week 16.
Yes, sir.
Sorry about that. Week 16 under the books, man. But let's talk about it, man. We have the Thursday night game right here. We have the Saints at the Rams. Final score 22-30. Rams take care of business at home. And let's start off with some game leaders real quick. And let's start off with the Saints side of the ball. Carr, he threw for 40, completed 27, 319 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Then your top rusher was Kamara with 9 carries for 19 yards, man. You ain't going to do it like that, man. And then your top receiver from the Saints was Olave with 9 catches, 123 yards. Have a day, man. Now to the Rams side of the ball. Stafford, he threw for 34, completed 24, 328 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Have a day, man. And your top rusher from the Rams was Williams with 22 carries for 104 yards and 1 touchdown. Have a day, man. Top receiver was Puka Nunca. I don't know if I said that right.
Puka Nakua.
Puka Nakua.
There we go.
Nakua, man. I always have a tough time with that. All right, 9 catches, 164 yards, and 1 touchdown, man. Have a day, my guy. Team stats real quick from the Saints. Total yardage, 339, while the Rams had 458. Turnovers, 1 for the Saints and 0 for the Rams. Time possession, 25 minutes for the Saints, while the Rams had 34. That being said, that puts the Rams now at 8-7, second in their division, and this puts 7-8, third for the Saints division right there. Jerron, what are your thoughts on this game, man?
Main thought is the Rams are a team that I'll be scared to go against pretty much. Even in their defeats, they've been tough, and they've been close to victory. Going into the playoffs, they're getting momentum. As of right now, they are the 6th seed. Mm-hmm. And, the way Stafford's playing, the way Puka's playing, that Aaron Donald's still Aaron Donald. Yeah. They dominated another team that was looking for the playoffs.
Yeah.
If I'm the Saints, I'm done with this whole squad. It's time to implode and start all over.
Yeah.
You don't have anybody. You don't have an identity on offense, and it showed.
Yeah, absolutely. How about you, Josh?
Yeah, like Jerron said, you don't see these Rams. They're gonna be scary in the postseason.
Yeah.
Here's some quick stats for you. So when the Rams have Matthew Stafford, Puka, Cooper Kupp, and Kyron on the field at the same time, they're first in EPA, which is the expected points added, which basically measures how much they scored above what people expected them to score. So the first in EPA, first in drop back EPA, first in rush EPA, first in drop back success rate, first in success rate, first in rushing success rate, first in points per drive, and first in yards per play.
So they're the best offense in the league when they all play.
When all of them play.
That's
and
crazy.
They're getting healthy at the right time, peaking at the right time. McVay is dialing it in at the right time. I know, boys.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. This Rams team right here looks like the one that they won the Super Bowl in.
Yeah.
Because they're getting hot at the right time.
Better.
And now that the running game out of nowhere is looking very nice,
Mm-hmm.
man, I'm telling you, man, the Rams look very legit right now. Scary right now, man. Like they look like a true contender right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With Kyron Williams coming out of nowhere.
Nowhere.
Again, one of the reasons why you don't pay running backs because there's always a Kyron Williams
Yep.
out there.
Mhm.
Yep.
And then, like you said, the way McVay is drawing it up, it's like he's in his bag.
Yeah.
Stafford made a couple throws that looked like early Detroit Stafford
Mhm.
with Calvin Johnson. Like he flat-footed just darts. So yeah, they're doing their thing, and I mean that's one more person, one more team to try to beat the 49ers and the Eagles for me.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to see it.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. All right, man. Y'all boys got anything else between the Saints and Rams?
Nope.
Let's go.
All right, man. Let's rapid fire these suckers real quick, man. Now to the next game, we have the Bengals at the Steelers. Final score 11-34. Steelers, man, with a surprising win, get this one at home. Let's go to some game leaders real quick, and let's go to the Bengals side of the ball. Browning. All right. He threw for 42, completed 28, 335 yards, 1 touchdown, but 3 interceptions. Your top rusher was Mixon with 11 carries of 43 yards. Man, you're not going to do it like that, man. And your top receiver was Higgins, man, for 5 catches, 140 yards, and 1 touchdown. Have a day, my boy.
Killed me.
Man, if you had him in fantasy, man, congratulations.
We got another one coming up we got to talk about too, but the fantasy receivers showed out.
Yep. All right, now to the Steelers side of the ball. Rudolph, he threw for 27, completed 17, 290 yards and 2 touchdowns. Have a day, man, at the bench, man. And then the top rusher from the Steelers was Harris with 19 carries for 78 yards and 1 touchdown. And your top receiver, man, was Pickens. 4 catches, 195 yards and 2 touchdowns. Boy, where you been at, man? Have a day, my boy, man. Now to some team stats. Let's start off with the Bengals side of the ball. Total yardage, 368 yards for the Bengals, while the Steelers had 397 turnovers. 3 for the Bengals and 0 for the Steelers. Time possession, 32 minutes for the Bengals, while the Steelers had 28 minutes. So that being said, gentlemen, in this divisional battle right here, this puts the Bengals and the Steelers 8-7. But since the Steelers won, that puts them ahead in 3rd place. And this puts the Bengals at 4th place. Jerome, man, what are your thoughts on this game, man?
This is why you can't count Tomlin out. He'll do everything and anything he can to get a win.
Yep.
Bringing Mason Rudolph. Well, we haven't seen Mason Rudolph in 2 years. Coming off the bench, and they finally gave them a 30-point game.
Yep.
That it was huge going to Pickens. And they clawed, and I kind of saw this one coming. I think I picked them to win this one. The Steelers were due, and without Chase, the Bengals thing was eventually going to conclude. But like, man, it's finally, it took week 16 for them to explode on offense like this, which is surprising. But they're still not technically out of it. They're 8-7, still fighting.
Yep. Josh, man, what are your thoughts on this game, man?
Man, shout out to Coach Tomlin.
Yeah.
Got to be, if not coach, one of the top 3 coaches of the decade.
Yeah.
Just think about all of the divas he's had to put up with over the last 10 years.
Yeah,
and
man.
how he's kind of navigated this team through everything they've been through. So it's just a testament to coaching and culture and just the history of the organization. But it's going to be interesting because in order to get in playoffs, they're going to have to win out, and then the Jags or Bills have to lose a game.
Jags. That's the one.
So they still got a chance. I don't know how far this team will be able to go deep into the playoffs, but shout out to the Steelers.
Yeah. And so I know there was some talk about the Steelers were considering getting a new head coach because, even though the Steelers did have what was a 3-game losing streak going on, and and they were saying it's Tomlin's time over in Pittsburgh. And I say, man, like of all the seasons he's been there, he had never had a losing season.
Right.
You know, if there was a possibility, if he did, maybe it would have been this year. But you can't hold that against him. You know, with all those injuries he's been having over there and all the drama behind the scenes that we heard of.
Yeah.
But Jerron, my question is to you is either coming back as a Steelers head coach next year?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Josh?
For sure.
Yeah.
I think they were just trying to figure out the business behind it, but
Yeah.
I think they'll get something done ASAP. For sure.
Man, I'm pretty sure he'll be employed no longer than 3 days, man.
Get him a quarterback and
Quarterback.
it changes everything.
Yep.
The whole problem was OC was a high school, college OC, and then the quarterback, high school, college quarterback. So get him a good quarterback. Get him a Pro Bowl level quarterback, and he might win it again. So
for sure.
I don't want to hear him not getting another shot at this, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks.
Y'all boys got anything else between the Bengals and the Steelers?
Yeah.
No?
Do it.
All right, let's go on. Let's move on to the next game. We have the Bills at the Chargers. This game should not have been close like this, 24-22, but the Bills take care of this ugly win away. So let's go to some game leaders real quick, and let's start off with the Bills side of the ball. Allen, he threw for 21, completed 15, 237 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Top rusher was Cook with 20 carries, 70 yards. Top receiver was Gabe Davis. 4 catches, 130 yards, 1 touchdown. Boy, where you been at? Have a day, my boy. Now let's go to the Chargers side of the ball. Stick it. I don't know.
What's
Stick?
his name?
Yeah, Stick? Yeah.
Ethan Stick, yeah.
Yeah. He threw for 33, completed 23 for 215 yards. Top rusher was Eckler with 15 carries, 65 yards. And your top receiver was Palmer for 5 catches, 47 yards. Now to some team stats. Total yardage. Let's start off with the Buffalo Bills. 335 total yardage, while the Chargers had 273. 3 turnovers from the Bills and 0 from the Chargers. Time possession, 27 minutes for the Bills and 33 minutes from the Chargers. So that being said, gentlemen, that puts the Chargers at 5-10, last in their division, and this puts the Buffalo Bills now at 9-6, second in their division. Jerron, what are your thoughts on this game, man?
Just like the Rams, Buffalo's a team I don't want to see in the playoffs. The way they've been attacking other teams, the way they squeaked this one out, but still, just they're stacking up victories.
Yeah.
They didn't play their best game. Easton Stick, he was very mobile in his game, and they made a couple plays, but they overcame a 3 turnover deficit to win. So you clean up those turnovers, and this is a 40-10 game, basically, 40-14 game or something like that. Josh Allen, he did his thing. You know how he didn't do this against the Cowboys, but he throws 1 interception. But it's he on the road. The Chargers had nothing to lose, so they threw everything at him. But I mean, they're still gonna be scary. There's only 2 teams I think better than them in the playoffs right now, in the AFC playoffs.
Yeah. All right. Hey, Josh, so what are your thoughts on between this game, Josh?
Not sexy. Bills aren't a sexy team, but sexy teams don't win playoff games. So they're built for it, built to go deep. Pause. Josh Allen is finally in a position to just get out the way.
Yeah.
Just play with heart, try to reduce your turnovers and all your mistakes, but just get out the way and really let James Cook kind of drive the offense. And that's what he's been doing. The running game has been really, really solid. Offensive line is playing amazing. I'm trying to figure out where this McGovern was with the Cowboys. He's been playing good, but it's been fun to see.
Yeah, this was a good game right here, man. It should have been this close. overall, three turnovers almost cost them the game, man.
Yeah,
Yep.
definitely.
Yeah, so they got to be careful with that, man.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm done.
Well, one thing to watch for is Stephon Diggs in the playoffs, though.
Mm,
Yeah, 5 for 29, 8 targets. I mean, he's liable to ruin this whole thing.
Yep.
yeah,
If he blows up, he's been quiet actually.
yeah,
Yeah.
He's been
Like,
very
Yeah.
these last
Yeah,
5 games.
he's been quiet.
Yep.
They've
Yeah.
been winning, and if they get down big and he's not a part of the game plan,
Yeah.
it might get ugly.
Yeah.
But everything's going well right now. James Cook is the focal point, and they gonna keep doing their thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, y'all boys got anything else between the Bills and Chargers?
No.
Oop.
Nope. All right, man. Let's move on to the next game, man. Fortunately, man, my Texans took this ass whooping right here, man. But we have the Browns at the Texans. Final score 36-22. The Browns come with a very impressive win right here. And I hate to say that, man. But it's true, man. Stats here don't lie. And let's go to some game leaders, and let's start off with the Brown side of the ball. Flacco, he threw from 42, completed 27, 368 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. But those 2 last interceptions really didn't mean anything. Top rusher was Ford, 15 carries for 25 yards and 1 touchdown. Top receiver was Cooper Cup. I'm sorry,
Amari Cooper,
Amari Cooper,
the
for-
top receiver.
the top receiver. 11 catches, 265 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Have a day, my boy. Now to the Texans side of the ball. Mills, he threw for 32, completed 15, 149 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And your top rusher was Singletary with 9 carries for 44 yards. And your top receiver was Schultz with 8 catches, 61 yards. And team stats. Total yardage, Cleveland, they had a 418, while the Texans had 250. Both teams with 2 turnovers each. Time possession, 33 minutes for the Browns and 26 minutes for the Texans. So that being said, gentlemen, the Texans now are 8-7, all tied up, but that puts them at 3rd in their division. And this puts the Browns now at 10-5, second in their division. Jerron, what are your thoughts on this game, man?
I will say both sides of the ball for the Browns played elite football. Like Stefanski, the way they play their offense is how I would play it a lot too.
Yeah.
Like I think there was one point in the first half where Joe Flacco went play action pass on 6 straight. It was like a handout, nope, pass, handout, nope, pass. I was like, damn, and just throwing bombs, bomb after bomb, and Amari Cooper. Oh man, if he was more reliable, he would be up there with the Marvin Harrisons, Calvin Johnsons,
For sure.
Andre Johnsons.
Yeah.
He's got all the skills. It's just he's a little bit. He's not as reliable as those guys everywhere. But on the road, this time indoors, he went crazy.
Yeah.
Like he looked unstoppable.
Yeah, he did.
And it was ridiculous. Some of the routes, some of the catches, some of the contested catches, body placement. He was just man. It was a thing to behold. Like if you just go back and look at all his receptions, that's a season's worth of highlights right there. So it was crazy. And defensively, this is gonna be another team that's tough. Like their defense didn't budge. They didn't play with their food. Like they saw Case Keenum and they're like, all right, he's lunch. Let's go ahead and tear him up.
Yeah.
But man, it's with Flacco. Does Watson have a problem? Because if you really honest, Watson hasn't played nothing like this.
Yeah.
Watson was a question mark. Flacco is he's enhancing the team in my opinion. But it's good to see, and he might have one comeback player of the year.
Flacco?
Flacco.
Yeah.
He might have.
So, all right, let me take this one real quick, Josh.
Yeah,
so,
go for it, man.
So I'm gonna go jump onto the Texans side of the ball, man. That defense, man. You never know what type of defense you get with the Texans sometimes, man. Because last week, they were playing on fire against the Titans, man. And of course, they have no issue with the run game. As the passing game was the lack on.
Mhm.
And my question to D'Amico is, how come Stingling wasn't on Cooper?
Shadowing.
Right. like that's your best corner. You need your best
Yep.
corner against the best wide receiver that they got right there. And half the time I didn't know who was covering
Mhm.
Cooper. To be honest with you, man. And Flacco was just throwing bombs like nothing, man.
Yeah.
It looked like the from the Ravens Flacco, the one that they won the Super Bowl,
yeah.
Mhm.
that playoff run they were having, man. He was just throwing bombs, man. But I don't get why the Texans defense can't be consistent. I know that the Texans right now are not, fully healthy in defense right now and
Mhm.
offense as well.
Mm-hmm.
But man, it shows like on both sides of the ball
Yep.
that both these teams, both the side defense and offense, just didn't not show up on this game, man. And these 22 points right here are basically the last two touchdowns that the Browns just didn't care about.
Mm.
They were just, gimmicks touchdowns, But this whole game right here, man, it was very disgusting, man. Just wasn't what I expected the Texans to show, man. But yeah, Josh, what are your thoughts, man?
Yeah, tough loss for the Texans. Obviously got some pieces out, but Browns gave it to him. Flacco reminded people who he was. Like it's not a fluke.
Yeah.
He's here, and hopefully they get a chance to play the rest of the year out with him and go pretty deep. But next couple years, like Jerron said, I think Watson is in trouble.
Yeah.
Flacco is a pro. It'll be different if this was like a traveling quarterback who's just in it. But this is Joe Flacco. He can keep this position. He can keep this this up. So they got a good game plan with him. And I like to see how much of a leader he is.
Yeah.
They're actually really responding to him. He's heavy in different conversations in the locker room, making people better. So I'm excited to see what the Browns do.
Yeah, he gave them a jolt of confidence.
Yep.
Yeah.
With him coming, they didn't have to worry about Dorian Thomas Robinson.
Yeah.
The other guy and even Josh Dobbs. He won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And I forgot how big that dude was.
Yeah.
Joe Flacco is a big old
dude.
cat.
Yeah, he's like 6'4".
Yeah, 6'4", 6'5". He's
Yeah.
sturdy. And so I just think I think he gave them a jolt of confidence because remember they're doing this all without their running back, the starting running back,
Chubbs.
Nick Chubb.
Nick
Yeah,
Chubb,
so it's impressive what he's doing off the couch.
Yeah.
Yeah, what, 2 months ago or a month ago?
Yeah,
Yeah, a month ago.
basically off the couch to be that
Yeah.
still into football.
Yeah.
I
And
wonder.
he said he been ready. He's been
Yeah.
practicing every week as if he's got a interview next week.
So
it showed.
the Browns just signed him to a 1-year deal.
Mhm.
So next season he's gonna be the backup as well. But even though he's gonna be 39 years old, do you think that plays a factor?
No.
No.
Rodgers is gonna be up there too.
Yeah.
Brady played late. He's just got to stay healthy.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna start out the backup, but
Yeah.
we'll have to see what your boy Watson does
I don't know.
because he's
Scary
outplaying
hours.
Watson. Yeah. So we'll see. But
to me, it's just amazing how much, how many games the Broncos are winning right now. They're above 10 now. That's crazy, man. That's very impressive right there. Good coaching right there. All right, y'all boys got anything else between the Texans and Browns?
nah, let's go.
All right, man, let's go on to the next game. We have the Colts at the Falcons. Final score 10-29. Falcons take care of business at home, man. That's what's up. Let's go to the Colts side of the ball and let's start off some game leaders. Minshew, he threw for 37, completed 20, 201 yards, and one interception. Top rusher was Taylor, for 18 carries for 43 yards and one touchdown. And your top receiver was Genderson for 5 catches, 62 yards. Now to the Falcons side of the ball. Hickerton? I was
Heineke.
Man, my bad. Heineke. He threw for 33, completed 23, 229 yards, and one touchdown. Top rusher was Robinson, 12 carries for 72 yards. And your top receiver as well was Robinson, with 7 carries for 50 yards. Have a day. My God, man. Why do you bench this guy? I don't get it, man. Anyways, team stats. Total yardage for the Colts, 262, while the Falcons had 406 turnovers, 1 for the Colts and 0 for the Falcons. Time of possession down to the middle with 30 minutes each, both teams. So that being said, 7-8 is Atlanta's record right now, second in their division, while the Colts are 8-7, second in their division as well. Jerron, what are your thoughts on this game, man?
I think this is one of them games where you can't really take much out of it because there's no telling that this is repeatable.
Yeah.
They got Kyle Pitts in the passing game. They got Bijan Robinson in the running game and the passing game. And then they got Heineke to play a clean game. He had no turnovers. So I don't think this is anything you can do over.
Yeah.
And then with Indy, Michael Pittman missed. They already don't have many weapons and they can't afford to lose anybody else.
Yeah.
So it's just one of them things where everything worked out perfectly for the Falcons, and Arthur Smith actually used people the close to the right way.
Yeah.
I still don't like the way that Drake London was used, but look, they gotta win, and it is what it is. Drake London 3 for 39. It's just still an anemic passing game unless you're throwing it to Bijan. So
Right.
that's all it is.
Yeah. Josh?
Yeah, this win got me very curious about what it would have looked like if they had been a little bit more aggressive with the QB situation, especially with the Lamar Jackson situation. So this is the opportunity cost for if the Falcons had traded for Lamar Jackson in a $260 million contract. They would give a Bijan 2024 first round pick, Jesse Bates, Chris Lindstrom, and like 3 other players. But so, do y'all think they should have?
Yeah, absolutely,
they should have went for that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
I
he would turn Kyle Pitts into an All Pro. Drake London would have been way better used than he's been used now.
Then you would have a running back with Algier.
Yeah, you already have Algier, and then you got the best offensive weapon in the division.
Yeah.
So they would have skated. It would have been similar to like what happened in Baltimore. You don't have as good of coaching staff, so I'd knock off a game or two. I think they'll be sitting at 9-10 wins. So
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that was all. I started thinking about it when I saw that game. I was like, man, they should went for Lamar.
Yeah, they definitely.
They should.
And if they struck out with Lamar, now let's go get Justin.
Yeah.
You know
Facts.
what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yep.
They would be way better, and they would be the best running attack in the league.
For sure.
Like Algier, Justin Fields, Ryan Robinson, Cordero Patterson, and then you got play action to Drake London and Kyle Pitts. It's too easy not to happen, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
Go get him.
yeah.
Yeah. All right, man. Y'all boys got anything between the Colts and the Falcons?
No, sir.
No? All right, let's go on and let's talk about the next game. Seahawks at the Titans. Final score 20-17. Seahawks win this game right here. Let's go off and talk about some game leaders and start off with the Seahawks side of the ball. Smith, he threw for 36, completed 25, 227 yards with 2 touchdowns. And your top rusher was Walker with 16 carries for 53 yards. And your top receiver was Lockett with 8 catches, 81 yards. And now to the Titans side of the ball, Tannehill, he threw for 26, completed 18, 152 yards. And top rusher was Henry with 19 carries for 88 yards and 1 touchdown. Have a day, man. And your top receiver was Anunkua.
Uh,
On
Okonkwo.
Concord, the tight end,
Yeah.
with 6 catches, 63 yards, and 1 touchdown. And team stats: total yardage for the Seahawks 273, while the Titans had 287. 0 turnovers for both teams. Time possession 26 minutes for the Seahawks and 33 for the Titans. So that being said, gentlemen, this puts the Titans at 5-10, last in their division, and this puts the Seahawks at 8-7, third in their division. Jerron, what are your thoughts on this game, man?
Can't lie. I don't watch Titans football.
Yeah.
So I'm not even gonna. I just once Levis went out, the rest of the season is to see if Levis can be a starting quarterback or
Yeah.
not. So it was I mean, they played the game, they lost the game, so that kept their draft spot, but it was a missed opportunity with Levis being hurt to see if he can be a better quarterback than Tannehill.
Yeah.
And again, they got off to a fast start and just crapped it away.
Yeah. Josh?
Yeah. Seahawks are interesting to me because Gino has 4 game-winning drives, the highest in the league. But I don't like how they're winning.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see how this can go far deep into the playoffs. So not too high on it, but
Yeah.
shout out to Seahawks for the dub.
Okay. I know there's not really too much to talk about this game, really. But besides that, y'all boys got anything else between that game?
That's it.
No. All right, let's move on to the next game, man. Let's have the Lions at the Vikings right here. Divisional game. Final score 30-24. Let's go to some game leaders real quick, and let's go to the Lions side of the ball. Goff, he threw for 40, completed 30, 257 yards with 1 touchdown. Top rusher was Gibbs with 15 carries, 80 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Have a day, man. Top receiver was St. Brown with 12 catches for 106 yards and 1 touchdown. Have a day, man. Now to the Vikings side of the ball. Mullen, he threw for 36, completed 22, 411 yards and 2 touchdowns, but 4 interceptions. The top rusher was Chandler with 8 carries for 17 yards and 1 touchdown. The top receiver was Justin Jefferson with 6 catches, 141 yards, and 1 touchdown. Have a day, my guy. Now to some team stats. Total yardage for the Lions, 389, while the Vikings had 390. Turnovers, 1 for the Lions and 4 for the Vikings. Time possession, man. 38 minutes for the Lions and 21 minutes for the Vikings. That being said, this puts the Vikings at 7-8, second in that division, and this puts the Lions at 11-4, first in that division right there. And this win right here got them a ticket into the playoffs. Jerron, what are your thoughts on this game, man?
I believe they won the division.
Yep.
Champs.
So division champs.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah.
With two to go. So that's cool. It's just about seeding, and I think most likely they're stuck in the 3rd seed no matter what. They can't. So they could sit everybody for the next 2 weeks, pretty much.
Yeah.
First things first. On the Vikings side, I want to start with them. I love the atmosphere. Every time I watch a Minnesota Vikings football game, it's just it feels good. Like the stadium is beautiful. Yeah. It's open. The lighting's real good. It seems like there's like 2 million people in the stands. And then they're loud. And it's tough because TJ Hawkinson tore his ACL,
out for the season.
Sucks. Because one of the best tight ends in the game, and it's gonna push back his start for next year too. Yeah. So Vikings have a lot of things to figure out.
Yep.
The tight end situation, of course, the quarterback situation, and they're going through right now. Nick Mullins was just throwing up Hail Marys.
Yeah.
Like it's good because he gashed the Lions defense. He
Yeah.
saw that he made it evident the Lions can be gashed through the passing game, but at the same time he was throwing that bad boy up for grabs.
Yeah.
And then on the Lions side, of course, the defense got carved up by Nick Mullins. Uh, the Vikings could have even won this game, but overall, I love Ben Johnson's offense, man.
Yep.
The running game, the movement, the way he gets high lows, and I just love his offense. I can't wait to see where he goes next.
Yeah.
And this is the Lions' shot
Yeah.
because where if they end up losing Ben Johnson, it's a step back. I don't care what you replacing with, who you're replacing with. Ben Johnson is a legit offensive mastermind at this point. That dude's got some stuff. He even pulled out a halfback pass to a bubble screen.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, that was nice. But that looked like something you would see on Saturdays. So but overall, Lions, congratulations. First time they won the division in I don't know how many years.
Since 93.
Third.
93?
Yeah, since 1993.
Man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Shout out to Detroit, man.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Detroit, man.
Yeah,
Enjoy it.
good
Enjoy it.
times for them.
Y'all deserve it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've been through some miseries, man.
Yeah. First, it'll be the first playoff game in home field ever.
Awesome, man. Enjoy it, man.
Sheesh.
Enjoy it.
Ever. Yeah.
Josh, you got any thoughts on this game, man?
Yeah, shout out to coaching staff, Lions, Dan Campbell. It's the heart of that team. He's got to have a Netflix movie biopic coming down the road
Like
soon.
Sean Payton.
For sure. But crazy story, amazing journey they've been on the last couple of years. We saw the whispers of it last year, and we're seeing it come full force this year. They got a squad. Ben Campbell is dialing it in. Wide receiver 1, Amon-Ra. Goff, if Goff doesn't throw crazy interceptions, they're going to be good. But on the Vikings side of the ball, Justin Jefferson's back, and he's looking like Justin Jefferson.
Monster.
Like you said, Rudolph, not
Hawkinson.
Yeah.
Man, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's super tough.
That's a tough loss right there.
So praise go out to him. And we'll see how it goes next year.
All right, well said, guys. Y'all boys got anything else between the Vikings game right there? All right, let's move on to the next game right here, man. Pretty much boring game right here. Commanders at the Jets. Final score 28-30. Jets wins the game right here. Let's go to some game leaders real quick. Brissett, he threw for 13, completed 10, 100 yards for 1 touchdown. And your top rusher was Rodriguez with 10 carries for 58 yards and 2 touchdowns. Have a day, man. And your top receiver was McLaurin. Yeah, right. 3 catches for 50 yards. And your top, now to the Jets side of the ball, passing, Simmons, he threw for 49, completed 27, 217 yards, 1 touchdown, but 1 interception. Top rusher was Hall with 20 carries, 95 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Have a day, man. Top receiver as well was Hall with 12 catches for 96 yards. Jesus, man. Not bad at all. Team stats. Total yardage for the Commanders, 245, while the Jets had 381. Turnovers, 3 for the Commanders and 2 for the Jets. Time possession, 23 minutes for the Commanders and 36 minutes for the Jets. That being said, this puts the Jets at 6 and 9, third in that division, and this puts the Commanders 4-11, last in that division. Jerome, what are your thoughts on this game, man?
Oh man, it was crazy. The Jets got out to a huge lead, 27 points in the first half, and almost lose this game. It's so random. The damn Commanders chose to fight in the second half and make it a game, but eventually they fall. That's one of them good losses.
Yeah.
They kept their draft spot. But
Show
yeah.
potential.
But New York, I can't believe they almost let this game go. It was at, I think the win probability was at 90 something percent. It got up to 97% before the Commanders came back, and
Yeah.
their probability went in the positive, and eventually, they end up giving the game away. But yeah, I mean, two bad teams
Yeah.
going at it. That's how you can.
Josh, you got anything from this game, man?
Yeah, not much. Just very, very crazy. It's always funny to see like two really bad teams just do really bad stuff and
Yeah.
make it almost makes it a good game. You're
Yeah.
so bad that it's like entertaining.
Yeah, it's so hard to not to watch.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But it's gonna be interesting to see. Simeon is playing Thursday again. Zach Wilson's out, so Jet season's trash.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been trash since week 1, basically, man. All right, y'all boys got anything else from that game?
Hell no.
All right, man, let's move on. We're wasting our time talking about that game, man. All right, let's go to the next game right here. We have the Packers at the Panthers. Final score, 33-30. Packers go on the road and take care of business. Let's go to some game leaders, and let's start off with the Packers side of the ball. Love, he threw for 28, completed 17, 219 yards, 2 touchdowns. And your top rusher was Jones with 21 carries for 127 yards, man. Where you been at, man? We needed you this whole season, man. But have a day, though. Top receiver was Doves with 4 catches, 79 yards, and 1 touchdown. Now to the Panther side of the ball. Passing. Young, he threw for 36, completed 23, 312 yards, 2 touchdowns. Top rusher was Hubbard with 16 carries for 43 yards and 1 touchdown. Top receiver was Chuck Jr. with 6 catches, 98 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Have a day, man. And let's go to some team stats, and let's start off with the Packers side of the ball. Total yardage, 369 yards, while the Panthers had 394. Both teams, 0 turnovers. Time possession, 28 minutes for the Packers and 31 minutes for the Panthers. So this puts the Panthers at 2-13, last in their division. And this puts Green Bay at 7-8, third in their division. Jerron, what are your thoughts on this game, my boy?
That was a good thing to see for Bryce Young. They lost the game, but they minded a comeback. They rallied at the end. But
no interceptions.
Right, no interceptions. He was only sacked twice. But if he looks on the other sideline, he can see Jordan Love. Yeah. Jordan Love had a lot of doubters, a lot of he needed a lot of work to get better. And now look how Jordan Love is, playing.
He's looking pretty solid, man.
Yeah, he's looking like a solid quarterback. Yeah. So that's what we're looking for with Bryce, because this year was shaky.
Yeah, very,
very, very shaky. And he's got some doubters now. Yep. He's the first overall pick, and people in his own building probably didn't want to pick him. So, just look over to Jordan Love and probably ask him some questions like, "Hey, how did you go through this process?" He lucked out because he was behind Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, for 4 years.
Yeah. But I'm sure he can give some wisdom to Bryce Young. And Bryce Young's been playing a little bit better recently.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. First thing they need to do over there in North Carolina is get an offensive line for that man. Mm-hmm. Protect this guy. That's first thing. And then from there, man, I would say maybe get a solid running back. Yeah. There's plenty of running backs coming out free agency this year, man. Take one of them, Eckler. I'm pretty sure Eckler will help him out a lot.
You don't have to spend a lot of money on it either.
I think Pollard will look good in Carolina. Pollard will look good over there.
Oh, hey Josh, you got anything for this game, man?
No, Jordan Love, his confidence is at an all-time high right now, and it shows in a lot of his decision making. He's throwing to tight windows, where only his receivers able to get it. Looking like Rodgers more and more, climbing that ladder, getting better and better.
Yeah.
Hopefully LaFleur doesn't get in his way. I think
Mhm.
that's my biggest question mark for Green Bay right now is do you stick with LaFleur or are you gonna move on? But shout out to Bryce. Bryce had the highest quarterback QBR out of any quarterback in one quarter. So that fourth quarter comeback was solid. So all good things for the tape. Move on and learn from this season.
Yeah, absolutely. So we know both teams ain't gonna make the playoffs.
The Packers still have a chance, but it's
I mean, but
it's
like,
outside chance.
yeah, like I saw the percentages, like in the like what low 30s.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's
Yeah,
low, yeah.
I mean, technically, yeah, there's still a chance, man. But I don't know. The NFC right now is looking pretty good, man. Especially, like I think the NFC West might have 3 teams in there.
Yeah,
It might.
Yep.
So we'll see what's
absolutely.
up.
Yep.
All right, let's move on to. Oh, and now let's say, y'all boys got anything else between the Packers and Panthers?
Nope.
No. All right, let's move on to the next game. We had the Jaguars at the Buccaneers. Right here's a state rival game right here. Final score 12-30. Buccaneers take care of business at home, man. Let's talk about it. Let's go to some game leaders, and let's start off with the Jaguars side of the ball. Lawrence, he threw for 29, completed 17, 211 yards, 1 touchdown, but 2 interception. Top rusher as well was Lawrence, 4 carries for 29 yards. Top receiver was Ingram, with 10 catches, 95 yards, man. Not bad. Have a day. Now let's go to the Buccaneers side of the ball. Mayfield, he threw for 35, completed 26, 283 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Have a day, man. Top rusher was White with 20 carries for 39 yards and 1 touchdown. Top receiver was Evans with 7 catches, 86 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Have a day, my boy. Team stats. Total yardage, and let's start off with the Jags, 305 total yards, while the Buccaneers had 335. Turnovers, 4 for the Jags and 0 for the Bucks. And time possession, 23 minutes for the Jaguars and 37 minutes for the Buccaneers. That being said, this puts the Buccaneers top in their division with a record of 8-7, and this puts the Jaguars still holding out the number 1 spot in their division with 8-7 as well. Jerron, what are your thoughts on this game, man?
I know they lost. I know they lost pretty badly, but I got to give Trevor Lawrence his credit. He's been playing through a lot.
He is,
a
man.
lot of stuff. Like every week, he's on the injury report. With
He was a
something.
game decision for this game.
And it's like maybe he needs to be sitting, but I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to will his team to the playoff, but he had a concussion, knee injury, ankle injury. He just hurt his AC joint. They just signed Matt Barkley off the Giants practice squad, which is how desperate they are. It's tough. I just got to give him kudos. But if he's out there, he needs to throw to Calvin Ridley every time he can.
Yeah, man.
It's ridiculous to go. He had like first catch was in the third quarter, something crazy.
Like that connection hasn't been good for the past weeks,
not,
man.
Not like it should be.
In
all
the
year.
In the beginning of the season, man, I was like, shit.
Yeah.
Is this
Yeah.
Is this going to be the next quarterback wide receiver connection?
And you might be able to make it. It could be Calvin Ridley's fault too. I haven't watched him down by down, but he could be kind of like Amari Cooper. They're both fantastic route runners, but I don't know how physical Calvin Ridley is. I don't know his mental state or whatever. But anyway, but Baker, I think he found a new home. He's been balling out these last
3 weeks.
Last
man.
3 weeks in December, he threw for 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns, 1 interception, and they went 4-0.
Yeah.
Like he's been going crazy, and overall they messed up not paying Mike Evans. They really messed up. They should have gave him everything he wanted.
Yeah.
He's on a elite list of wide receivers.
Yeah.
Complete list of players with 5+ seasons of 12+ touchdowns. receiving touchdowns, according to CBS. Jerry Rice, T.O., Randy Moss, Marvin Harrison, Mike Evans. Like, big dogs.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is elite
Yep.
company that he's in, and he's probably going to end up somewhere else next year.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Josh, how about you, man? You got any thoughts?
I think this is a win for the Bucks GM.
Yeah.
You early in the year, you have $35 million of dead cap space paying to Tom Brady.
Yeah.
And you have to figure out real fast what you're gonna do to, number one, replace Tom Brady, but number two, still not kill your team's cap space. So
future.
they found it in Baker, and off of a $4 million 1 year deal, I think you need to go ahead and lock that thing up because he's fitting right in. And
I mean, but do you? I mean, like, do you want to do that, man? If you're the Buccaneers, do you really want to sign that?
What does he want?
yeah, I
Yeah,
think
exactly.
that's
Yeah,
the question.
'Cause-
If it's not crazy,
Yeah.
I'll sign him for sure.
I wouldn't give him the Geno Smith contract. I give him bottom line contract.
2 years, 40 million.
Yeah, something
Not mad at
like that's not bad.
It's not because it's not
'Cause you can
long
get out of-
term.
yeah, you can get out of it.
Yeah.
Anything you can get out of is fine.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure the Seahawks are kind of regretting what they gave Geno, but that they can get out of that too.
Yeah.
As long as you can keep your options open, but he's gonna have to be cheap with all the
Yeah.
money they got going elsewhere.
Yeah.
That's another reason they couldn't pay Mike Evans.
Yeah.
But yeah, they gotta keep that nucleus together the best they can.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen, y'all have anything else from that game right there?
Looks like Cowboys are going there. That's the most likely
Yep.
scenario. I can't wait. I can't wait to see how that shakes out. But yeah, that's what it looks like it's gonna be.
All right, man.
Do it.
And like, I don't know, ever since Jerron brought that whole grass thing, it's just been in my mind, man. It's just like, I don't know. Like, now I have to go against the Cowboys on that grass thing.
Yeah.
All right, man. Let's move on to the next game, man. We're gonna talk about the Cowboys later, man. All right, let's move on to the next game. We have the Cardinals at the Bears. Final score 16-27. The Bears win at home on this one right here. And then let's start off with the Cardinals side of the ball. Murray, he threw for 38, completed 24 for 230 yards and 2 touchdowns. Have a day, man. Top rusher was Connor with 12 carries for 45 yards. The top receiver as well was Connor for 5 catches for 66 yards and 1 touchdown. Have a day, man. Now to the Bears side of the ball. Fields, he threw for 27, completed 15, 170 yards, 1 touchdown, but 1 interception. Top rusher was Herbert with 20 carries for 112 yards, 1 touchdown. Have a day, man. Top receiver was Komet for 4 catches, 107 yards. Jeez, man, have a day, man. And this will go to some team stats. Arizona, total yardage, 306, while the Bears had 420. 0 turnovers for the Cardinals and 1 for the Bears. Time possession, 26 minutes for the Cardinals and 34 minutes for the Bears. So that being said, this puts the Bears at 6-9, last in their division, and this puts the Cardinals at 3-12, last in their division as well. Jerron, what are your thoughts on this game, man?
Really, I didn't see much of this game, but it looks like it was a pretty exciting game, especially if you are a
Bears fan.
Bears fan.
Right.
Even though it's weird just looking at the numbers, DJ Moore only had 3 catches. Komet went for 4. So they only got 15 total completions, which is very weird.
Yeah, I know, right?
In a NFL game, but like I said, I didn't see this. But the thing I can take away from this game is the draft order.
Mm-hmm.
Bears still have the first overall pick.
Cardinals, because of Carolina,
via Carolina. That's right. They have the 5th pick because
their own pick.
Yeah, and then the Cardinals have the 3rd pick. So, real quick,
is the battle of Ken Williams.
I'm thinking it's Caleb Williams first, and then for the Cardinals, you got to get Marvin Harrison in the building
Sheesh.
because the targets that were
Crazy.
going to the Arizona receivers, their leading receiver, like you said, was James Conner, the running back. Nah, that ain't gonna work.
No.
Go ahead and slide Marvin Harrison right up in there. Marvin Harrison Jr. Greg Dortch was second leading receiver. Dude named DeMarcado was third. Like, nah. That you can turn in like I would turn in the car right now. I would freeze it, give it to Goodell, put it in your freezer.
Write it down right now and just have it ready.
Yeah. If he's
For April.
available, he's going to be in Arizona. So I mean that's what I got.
Because all right, so you're saying that Arizona has the third pick right now?
That's right.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
And in the first two picks, you say it was
The first two picks are
the Bears,
and the
and-
Patriots, and then Arizona's third.
because those two might get quarterback first.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's why I'm saying your next
Or the Bears
best-
might trade that number one pick.
They may, but
They may.
whoever's trading for
Yeah.
it, they're going to get a quarterback.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
that's what I'm
can't-
saying. Yeah.
The only one, maybe the Commanders hop up there, and that would be crazy.
Yeah.
Maybe the Giants can't hop up there.
So you saying if you had to put money on it well, what's the percentage you give the Cardinals to get Harrison Jr.?
Oh man, I'm giving it 70%,
that's
75%.
That's
Yeah,
high.
He's the
Josh,
best.
do you
He's
agree
the,
with your brother?
the best dude,
I think so.
Mm.
I think so.
best receiver to come out in a while. So, and it's a needy team right now.
Oh, yeah, and they got a lot of picks, and now also they have the Texans pick as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
I want to say Texans. They're like at the 17 spot.
something like that.
Yeah.
I gotta see that far. I only got the top 10 in front of me.
Yeah, yeah. Like I know it's in the teens right now. All right, gentlemen. Do you have anything else
I
from that?
have a quick question. Are y'all Caleb Williams supporters? How much faith do you have in Caleb Williams? Honestly,
All right. So me personally, all right. I like him, but I feel like he hasn't done great.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like he hasn't done anything like let's say Bryce Young has done last year.
Mm.
You know, he hasn't had that. You know, but then again, like I feel like over there, Bryce Young, he had that talent around him.
Mhm.
I guess that's why it made him look so good. And sometimes I feel I want to compare him to Bryce Young. You know,
Mm.
because he had that talent over there in USC, right?
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah. Not as much.
Not as much,
Not
but-
as much. Caleb hasn't done as much winning also.
Yeah.
So
and
that's
you
the
know
thing.
that doesn't help. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I have to. It's kind of
Yeah.
like right there. I don't know, man. But
I just don't know how much of a jump you make from Caleb from Justin. I don't know how much he moves the needle by.
so, what quarterback do you like coming out? If it's not Williams,
I like May. Honestly, I'm a May fan.
Mhm.
yeah.
I'm a May fan. You kind of have to. It's kind of down to the two of them.
Yeah.
But it seems like a lot of Bear fans haven't moved on from Justin. It seems like
That's what it
Chicago.
is.
Yeah.
Chicago likes Justin.
Yeah,
It
but
does
like,
seem that way.
but Chicago don't run the Bears. That's what I'm saying. The ownership. I mean, like, man, it's all about the ownership, man. Like, they could just pick up and move the team, whatever they could do. You know, if ownership ain't feeling it, man,
Yeah.
it's whatever. But Jerron, go ahead and answer your brother's question, man.
So you were talking about Caleb Williams versus Justin Fields, right?
Yeah.
The thing is, you would have to change everything about the Bears. In that situation, I would want to bring in like a Andy Reid
Mm.
disciple, because the closest comp to Caleb Williams is Patrick Mahomes. The way he plays, the way he scrambles, the way he extends plays, his arm, his accuracy. But it's gonna be tough because I do think Chicago's falling back in love with Justin Fields, and Justin Fields, for him to win, I think you have to build a Philly type team
Yeah.
around him. And even with the Philly type team, you can see that it's not always pretty.
Right.
And I don't know if Justin Fields has developed like it's 15 completions, 170 yards
Yeah.
with an interception.
Yeah. And
I
he's
don't-
and he's missing wide
He
open
he's
guys.
he's inaccurate. So if I'm GM, I always go for mobile accuracy. I don't go for mobile. You know, he's I'm not gonna say he's a running back playing quarterback, but he is a inaccurate running quarterback. Caleb Williams is a mobile, accurate quarterback.
Yeah.
I just don't know if all the hoops and flips he does in college
Yeah.
can work in the NFL.
That makes sense.
Like all the spectacular turning around, running across the field. I mean, Patrick Mahomes does it,
Yeah.
but that's kind of rare.
Yeah.
It's only one Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm going with Caleb, and I'm trading Justin Fields away,
Yeah.
and I'm just building around him, and I'm starting that rookie clock over again before I have to sign him.
Yeah,
But-
I'm true that.
Right.
All right. Y'all boys got anything else in that game right there?
Nah,
Yeah.
let me move on.
All right, man. Let's go talk about y'all boys, Cowboys, man. All right. Final score. I'm sorry. Cowboys at the Dolphins. Final score 20-22. Dolphins take care of business at home, man. And real quick, this puts the Dolphins 7-1 at home. So that's pretty impressive right there. But if y'all want to know, this puts the Cowboys 3-5 away.
Mhm.
You know, so yeah, heads up. So let's go to some game leaders real quick. Let's start off with the Cowboys side of the ball. Prescott, he threw for 32, completed 20, 253 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Top rusher was Pollard with 12 carries for 38 yards. You got to do better, man. And your top receiver was CD Lamb, man, for 6 catches, 118 yards, and 1 touchdown. Have a day, my boy. Now let's go to the Dolphins side of the ball. Tua, he threw for 37, completed 24, 293 yards, and 1 touchdown. Top rusher was Morset with 11 carries for 46 yards. Top receiver was Hill with 9 catches, 99 yards. And let's go to some team stats. Total yardage, Cowboys 339, while the Dolphins had 375. Turnovers, 1 for the Cowboys and 0 for the Dolphins. Time possession, almost down the middle. 31 minutes for the Cowboys and 29 minutes for the Dolphins. That being said, this puts the Dolphins at 11-1, first in their division, and this puts the Cowboys at 10-5, second in their division. Jerron, tell us about your thoughts on this game, man.
Whole game comes down to offensive line. Tyron Smith didn't play, and the Dolphins went crazy. 12 quarterback hits, pressured on plus 50% of Dak's passes. They got in his head, 4 sacks. So with the combination of no Tyron Smith, you've got Chuma Dogba, who's just doing whatever the hell he wants to out on there. He's literally just playing his own game. And then Vic Fangio. So offensively, Vic Fangio won the mental game because even after the game, Dak was like, "Look, Fangs we could have kept going back to CD Lamb over and over and over again, which they should have.
Yeah.
They should have put him in better positions, but he knew in his mind Vic Fangio was going to do something to take CD away. So they went to other avenues until crunch time, which I hate that philosophy. But Vic Fangio is famous for showing one thing and actually playing another.
Yeah.
Like he'll show quarters, and then he'll roll into like a cover 2 or a single high safety look.
Yeah.
But I was playing games with Dak, but I don't know, man. It's troubling how they do everything differently on the road. They don't look like the same team. They don't run the same type of plays. They don't use CD the same, even though CD does a beast. Like
Yeah.
6 for 118 effortlessly, pretty much. It's just like the philosophy on the road is different. Um, Defensively, I don't really have that much to say. They still miss Hankins in the middle. But running wise, uh, they ran for as a team 3.5 yards a carry. I can't be mad at that.
Yeah.
Um,
Could have been worse.
it I thought it was gonna be
Me too.
worse.
Oh, wait, are you talking about like as a defensive unit?
Yeah,
the Cowboys?
like the Cowboys helped them
yeah,
to
yeah, that's
3.5. Yeah.
yeah, for
So-
total 91 yards.
Yeah, so I thought it was gonna be way worse than that. I thought they were gonna use A chain like
Yeah.
Yeah.
like crazy, but they held him in check that way. But Michael Parsons can't get a holding call to save his life.
Mm-mm.
38 straight quarters, not one holding call against him. He gets held constantly every game. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but people are starting to take notice that this dude's getting held, and refs are looking dead at it, and they're moving around.
Yeah, there's a report that coaches are coaching their players
to hold
to hold him because they're not going to
because they know that he's not going to get that call.
Okay.
Are you good? Like it's crazy, but there's things that I wish they could have did better. Tony Pollard, you got to be way better than that. You got to get in on that. He had a wide open lane to the end zone to the pylon, and he chose to stick his head in the ground
got arm tackled.
like he's like he's Nick Chubb or something or Derrick Henry. Do what you do best and run to the corner. And then you fumble on the one.
Yeah.
So that changed everything. They went down the field, 15 play drive and got nothing out of it. But man, I mean, we talked about it last week that most likely this was going to be the outcome. It's just you got the opportunity to do better, and once Dolphins got the ball, I was like, it's over.
Yeah.
They're just gonna fly down the field, and penalty helped them out. So
Yeah.
same old.
Yep.
Josh, you got any thoughts, man?
Yeah, this was a playoff game.
Yeah.
And it's very concerned. This was more concerning of a loss than the Buffalo game for me personally.
Really?
Because I think the biggest concern for me is that they have no answers, and they have a problem on the road, and no one knows why they play the way they play it.
Yeah.
Like they're not even close to, oh, it may be this, it may be that. Everyone is confused to why they have so many issues on the road. And if McCarthy's big play, big lead philosophy doesn't work like it did, and if you don't jump off front and get a good lead and kind of get some momentum up top, then for some reason we just cannot rally around and get to where we need to be. But I mean, I guess one of my biggest pluses was we didn't have to worry about Dak too much. Dak didn't play a bad game.
He didn't play great.
He didn't play
though.
great. He didn't play great.
You could
either.
see him seeing ghosts, and his clock was flying in his head. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I got to get this. So he was turning
once
down
he got
open
hit in the
receivers.
mouth a couple of times,
Yeah.
he was a little frantic. But Mike McCarthy, he just, I don't know. They have to at least have a couple games to figure it out, but they need to figure it out pretty fast. Yeah, that's about it.
So if you look at all his losses on the road, lost to the Cardinals, lost to the 49ers, Eagles, Bills, and Dolphins. So the whole theme of that is the way the Cowboys dominate. They take your mistakes and they compound on top of them. So if you make a mistake, it's over. And what I'm seeing so far is teams at home have the ability to limit their mistakes. So you don't make a bad situation worse.
Yeah.
So with the Cardinals game, all they did basically was just run the ball, and they made the Cowboys just play on their back heels instead of being pressuring and aggressive.
Yeah.
And then we all know what happened with the 49ers. They didn't make any mistakes.
Mhm.
And the Cowboys weren't able to impose their will on them. And the Eagles game was the Cowboys weren't able to capitalize on their mistakes. The Eagles fumbled the ball 3 times and they recovered all 3.
Mhm.
If the Cowboys get one of those fumbles, it's over. Buffalo didn't make any mistakes, and the Cowboys made countless mistakes penalty wise, and let them extend. So basically, what I'm saying is whenever the teams get comfortable and they just don't beat themselves, it's tough on the road for the Cowboys to match up because the Cowboys live off of you making a mistake, and in the way Dan Quinn calls his defense, it's aggressive, and against the Dolphins, it was a little they were backing up because Dolphins was just going down the field whenever they wanted, and they were scared of the Tyreek factor.
Mhm.
But overall, the Cowboys should have done better in the red zone and came out with this victory.
Man, I got a question for y'all, man. So right now the Cowboys are what on the road they're the 3-5?
Yes.
Mhm.
3-5, right? Is it concerning that the only 3 wins y'all had in the road is against not so great teams? The wins that y'all had in the road that against the teams that haven't been good is the Chargers, the Panthers, and which is the other team, and the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
Are y'all concerned about that, man? It's like especially now y'all going to the road. Basically, y'all said y'all going to the Buccaneers on the road. Is that concerning for y'all, and also in the current playoffs as well? If y'all finishing the 5th seed,
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because they're not going to win the Super Bowl. I mean, if we're talking about that,
well, no, all right,
they're not going to win the Super Bowl because we know they're not going to win on the road. They got to win 3 road games. They're not going to do it. So I already know they're not going to win the Super Bowl. If I'm talking about against Tampa, I don't know. Is Tampa a good team? They've been playing well, but
Yeah.
are they good?
Yeah.
Like we all thought they were going to be
Right.
picking first.
Yeah.
So I mean, it
Yeah.
is what it is. I don't think Tampa is on the level. Like I said, the losses are Arizona, which is like, all right, that's crazy.
yeah,
Then you got 49ers, that's a dominant
yeah,
monster.
yeah.
You got the Eagles, which is another dominant monster. You got the Buffalo Bills, who are one of the most dangerous teams in the league.
Just turned hot in December.
Yeah,
yeah,
And then you got the Miami Dolphins, who are top 2 in the AFC.
yeah,
So they're lost to a scrub, but they're not losing to all scrubs
Yeah.
on the. So first round, I think they can get it.
Yeah.
Second
Okay.
round is they're gonna need some help. They're gonna need the Rams to upset
yeah.
the they're gonna need the Rams to upset the Lions or something like that.
And y'all play the Lions this week coming up, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, but yeah, I don't think there's a Super Bowl caliber team
Yeah.
because of the road.
yeah.
Yeah, and it would also be different if they were more of a disciplined team too. But
Yeah.
being the most penalized team in NFL, mixed with all the other factors of how they're built and how they can be taken advantage of, and yeah, that's a recipe for getting knocked out round 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Yep.
sure.
It's a recipe for sure.
Yeah. Gentlemen, y'all have anything else between the Cowboys and Dolphins before we move on?
No, not really.
Josh? John?
Well, really, we talked about earlier. That's a really good uniform matchup.
Oh, yeah.
Like it looked like this was 90s, 93. The Cowboys jerseys versus the throwbacks of the Dolphins
Yeah.
is a really good like.
I love that logo,
and,
man.
and it was outside, so
Yeah.
it looked really good. Like
Oh, and also,
throwback
Fun game to
football.
watch.
and also it was raining, man. So do you put any conditions for that loss because of the rain?
No.
No?
It's just to me, it's more
Discipline.
home field advantage
Yeah.
for Miami.
Mm-hmm.
People
Yeah.
are gonna have to go to that rain too.
It was hot, it was a mid 70s and it was raining.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's Miami.
that's Miami
Yep.
for you in December.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, man, I love those uniforms they played in. And I'm a big fan of that logo. The logo that Miami has right now, man, looks too modern to me, man.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like a NFL team. It looks like a softball
Yeah.
logo team.
I like that whole aesthetic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole even when they wear those teal and they have black shoes with it, for some reason
Oh,
that still looks cold.
Yeah.
Like
it
I'm
does.
usually like, nah, why would you wear black shoes but the black cleats? But they pull it off.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, Miami's a fun team to watch, even with the personalities. I don't know if y'all have seen
Yeah.
Hard Knocks a little
Yeah.
bit, but you got Mike and then Tyreek. Tua is an interesting personality.
They starting to get on my nerves a little bit though. Like the whole Mike McDaniel thing is kind of is getting to me. I'm like, I get it, bro. Like you're a nerd. All right, man. Cool.
But he wants you to know he's a
doubling
nerd.
down.
he's
on it.
he's a super positive nerd, and it's getting to me. I'm like, all right, I'm tired of seeing McDaniel.
Yeah, man, but it's all about that. I mean, I believe that energy effect, man. I feel what you put out comes back to you like that. And he's just a goofy energy guy, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
And it add on that he caused some hell of a plays
Yeah.
like
He
that.
does, man.
That touchdown to Raheem Mostert.
Yeah.
If I'm an offensive coordinator, I'm
Nasty.
copying that crap.
Sure.
Yeah.
Motion around the quarterback into the traffic mesh. Man,
Mhm.
that it was easy. So yeah, he caused a hell of a game.
Goofy guy making some goofy plays, huh?
Yeah.
Nah, just kidding. All right, gentlemen, y'all got boys. Anything else between that game, Cowboys and Dolphins?
Nah, that's
All right, man. Let's go and talk about this next game right here, man. Patriots at the Broncos. Final score 26-23. Patriots on the road with an impressive win right here. Let's go to some game leaders and let's talk about the Patriots first. Zappy, he threw for 33, completed 25, 256 yards and 2 touchdowns. The top rusher was Elliott with 12 carries for 27 yards, and your top receiver was Douglas with 5 catches, 74 yards. Now to the Broncos side of the ball. Wilson, he threw for 37, completed 25, 238 yards and 2 touchdowns. Have a day, man. And your top rusher was McCullen. I don't know if I'm saying that right. McCullen?
I can never get it. McLaughlin.
There we go. Yeah, McLaughlin
Okay.
with 6 carries for 37 yards. And your top receiver from the Broncos was Mims Jr. with 3 catches for 63 yards. Now let's go to some team stats. Total yardage for the Patriots, 289, while the Broncos had 276 turnovers. 1 for the Patriots and 2 for the Broncos. Time possession, 28 minutes for the Patriots and 31 minutes for the Broncos. So that being said, this puts the Broncos at 7-8, third in their division, and 4-11 last for the Patriots in their division. Jerron, what are your thoughts on this game, man?
Man, it's tough to lose this way. Lose out on your playoff chances this
Yep.
way. They got hot in the middle of the season and then starting to look slim for the Denver Broncos. We already know what the Patriots are. They're top 2 in the draft, but yeah, you lost to the Patriots to keep you out of the playoffs. So, I mean, it is what it is. Bailey Zappi played a clean game.
No interceptions, man.
No interceptions, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Can't be mad at that.
You can't.
Russ, just 5 sacks against Russ. I mean, they just didn't have enough. And that's another team that it's time to blow them up. We said it at trade deadline. They should be completely blowing this squad up, getting what they can, and I think this just solidifies it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Josh?
Yeah, I think one of my biggest highlights of it was seeing Zeke get a little shine, get a little tape out there. Of course, I doubt he's gonna be there next year, but he still got a few notches left in his tank. Got little legs. Got a nice little highlight. Can't believe that, like you said, they lost to the Patriots, but Broncos. I think they before the game they had a 45% chance of getting the playoffs, and now they have a 5.
Yeah.
So you drop 40% from a loss to the Patriots. That's tough.
Yeah.
Tough. So they go back to the drawing board and figure out for next year what they got going on.
Yeah, absolutely. Real quick, man, like I love that logo, that throwback logo they had um, for the Broncos, man.
Yeah.
I thought they had blue helmets back then.
Yeah,
though.
they did, man. Like I don't know what's up with the white
I
ones.
don't like the white helmet.
Yeah.
If they went with the blue, I would have been on board. But
Yeah, but the logo alone, man.
Yeah,
like,
that logo is
yeah,
nice.
I love that logo. Gentlemen, y'all have anything else between the Patriots and Broncos?
No.
Really ain't much to talk about that one. But let's go and talk about this game right here, man. The Raiders at the Chiefs, man. Final score 20-14. Raiders on the road with a surprising win right here, man. Let's talk about it. Game leaders, Raiders side ball. Let's start off. O'Connell, he threw for 21, completed 9 for 62 yards. Tyrell Rusher was white. 22 carries, 145 yards. Have a day, my boy. That's how they won the game running. Top receiver was Myers for 3 catches for 42 yards. Now to the Chiefs side of the ball. Mahomes, he threw for 44, completed 27, 235 yards, 1 touchdown, but 1 interception. Top rusher as well was Mahomes with 10 carries for 53 yards. Top receiver was Rice for 6 catches, 57 yards. Now to some team stats. Total yardage for the Raiders, 205, while the Chiefs had 308. Turnovers, 0 for the Raiders and 2 for the Chiefs. Time possession, 25 minutes for the Raiders and 34 minutes for the Chiefs. That being said, for this divisional game, this puts the Raiders at 7-8, second in their division, and this puts the Chiefs 9-6, first in their division, still holding down that spot. Jerron, what are your thoughts on this game, man?
First things first, the most important thing is if Antonio Pierce isn't the Raiders coach next year, we're
He
rioting.
should be, bro.
We are rioting. We're all walking to Vegas and kidnapping Mark Davis.
Facts.
The Raiders just seem like a smarter, hungrier team.
Yep.
They're not making the mistakes. They're forcing everybody else to make mistakes. Patrick Mahomes was running for his life. Max Crosby was playing for him. Kuntz was getting after him. That cornerback who got the pick 6 and pretend like he was going to get a kid the ball and pull it back.
Oh,
That's
the Grinch.
That's Raiders football, man. I don't care. We going back in the time. I would have gave him a game ball for that.
Hey, like I want to say that's the same cornerback that was eyeing down Mahomes. And he was like,
Yeah.
he like, I got you.
Yeah. Like, what are you doing? Why would you test me?
Yeah.
I know you're Patrick Mahomes, but I think Josh Jones or something.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And so that's the most Raiders thing is to beat the Chiefs without completing a pass after the first quarter. It's ridiculous. The Raiders defense has allowed a touchdown on just 5 of the last 37 drives. So they're balling out on defense. Offense is just doing what they can. And on the other side, the Chiefs might be broken.
Yep,
For
sure.
They're broken for this year. They're broken. I know they call Mahomes the magician, and he's gonna have to be for them to go deep in the playoffs. Because as of right now, there's about 4 teams in the AFC playoffs that I think they can knock them off easy.
For sure.
So they're going through it right now, and I mean that's what happens.
Yep.
Josh, you got any thoughts on this game, man?
Yeah. Raiders. I think the tell of the tape was that stat line was two turnovers to 0.
Mhm.
That for me defined the game. Jumped on the mistakes and ran the ball into victory.
Yeah.
And that's how you do. That's how you really beat Kansas City Chiefs. Is get after Mahomes, make him be Superman and just pray to God that he's Clark Kent that day. And that's what happened. The Swifties went down. I think that the whole Taylor Swift situation shot them in the foot. I think they thought it was going to do something that they didn't. It actually put them in a worse position.
I mean, like, I feel like they get publicity no matter what, good or bad. Bro, when you have Travis Kelce throwing his helmet like that, bro, I mean, come on, man. Like, it took your coach. Like, his coach had to stop on the equipment manager to give him the helmet. He said, nah, he's going to set this one play down.
Yeah.
He needs to chill.
That's another reason why they're broken. They've never been in this situation.
You're right.
They never
Man,
had.
Mahomes is emotional on the sidelines.
They've never had any adversity like what they're having right now. So they don't know what to do. They don't know how to come together and team players only meeting. They don't know any of this. All they doing is like pointing fingers at this moment. Last week they Kadarius Toney thing. This week is just the offensive line is
and play calling, bro.
I mean, they never had a deficit at play calling. Like right now, it's like the Raiders knew everything that was coming.
Yeah.
Like it said, the pick six, he knew that play was coming. Yeah. It's like, they lost. They need Eric Bieniemy back.
Yeah,
they do.
And I think I would be more confident in them.
Yeah, I think it's too early now, but depending on how they play out the rest of the season and playoffs, I think we got to start having that Mahomes conversation of question marks.
Oh no, that's never gonna happen. They're never gonna have that conversation.
No. All right, gentlemen, y'all have anything else from that game for the Raiders and Chiefs?
Nope.
All right, let's go on to the next game. We have the Giants at the Eagles. Final score 25-33. Game leaders, and let's start off with the Giants side of the ball. Taylor, he threw for 16, completed 7, 133 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Top rusher was Barkley with 23 carries for 80 yards and 1 touchdown. Top receiver was Slayton with 3 catches for 90 yards and 1 touchdown. Now to the Eagles side of the ball. Hurts, he threw for 38, completed 24, 301 yards, 1 touchdown, but 1 interception. Your top rusher was Swift with 20 carries for 92 yards and 1 touchdown. Have a day, my guy. Now, top receiver was A.J. Brown for 6 catches for 80 yards. And team stats, total yardage for the Giants, 292, while the Eagles had 465. Turnovers, 1 for the Giants and 2 for the Eagles. Time possession, 25 minutes for the Giants and 34 minutes for the Eagles. That being said, for this divisional game, this puts the Giants at 5-10, third in their division, and this puts the Eagles 11-4, holding down as 1 spot in their division. Jerron, what are your thoughts on this game, man?
The Eagles can be beat. They can definitely be beat. They're not as solid as a team as they were earlier this year or last year. They rely on their staples way too much. They have, we always talk about, they have 5 or 6 plays they go to every single week. And they have been working, but there might be a time where that ain't gonna work. The perfect game plan can get these guys.
Yeah.
The offensive line isn't as dominant. They move the ball well. It is what I can say, but they're missing Shane Steichen in the red zone to get those guaranteed touchdowns. Because if it's not a read option or the tush push, they're not really scoring. Like they're not scoring in the red zone.
Yeah.
It's tough to stop, but it can be stopped, and we'll just have to see how they're going for it. Because the lowly Giants were thrown in the end zone to tie up the game. So, but we'll have to see. This should have been a cakewalk.
Yeah.
But it was a little tougher than it actually should have been.
Yeah, like especially that second half.
Yeah.
Yep.
That Eagles secondary is terrible.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, boy, had to put it in Spanish. Hey, so Josh, what are your thoughts on this game, man?
Biggest concerns for Eagles for me are number one, team chemistry.
Yeah.
They're just not clicking at all. It seems like it's a lot of bad blood between receiving core, offensive coordinator, quarterback. All of them are just trying to figure it out, and obviously they still haven't been able to click together. AJ Brown's visibly frustrated, and that may bleed over into the playoffs too when he needs to trust his quarterback and the quarterback needs to trust his receiver. Are y'all going to be on good terms? Are y'all going to be on the same page?
Yeah.
And then of course the secondary is complete trash. So
Yeah.
they're going to get beat playing like this really fast.
In the playoffs, man, you're gonna go up against good wide receivers, man. Like the Lions, you got St. Brown, Cowboys, CeeDee Lamb. If they play the Rams, man, you got two good wide receivers in that squad with Cup and I can't pronounce that dude. Puka Nuka.
Puka Nacua.
Puka Nakua's, so they got a lot of good receivers in the NFC, man. So the Eagles better get that shit straightened up.
Yep.
But Eagles, man, they're 6-1 at home, man. Very impressive, man. Not bad. Gentlemen, y'all got anything else in this game right here? Jerron?
Nah. I think I'm good. One last thing is that the Wink Martindale thing is done. There's no creativity in his defense. If you survive the blitz, the whole back end is compromised. So his whole defensive philosophy is done. People are doing the Vic Fangio defense now, and that all out blitz and straight man coverage across the board ain't cutting it no more.
Game of the week. We covered it here. We talked about it last week that we picked this was the game of the week right here, and boy, was it a surprise, man. We have the Ravens at the 49ers, man. Final score 33-19. Yes, sir. 33-19. Ravens with a surprising win on the road, man, but hell of a win. Statement game right here, man, for sure. Let's go to some game leaders, and let's start off with the Ravens side of the ball. Jackson, he threw for 35, completed 23, 252 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Have a day, my boy. Also, top rusher was Jackson with 7 carries for 45 yards. Your top receiver was Flowers for 9 catches for 72 yards and 1 touchdown. Now to the 49 side of the ball. Purdy, he threw for 32, completed 18, 255 yards, 4 interceptions. 4 interceptions. Top rusher was McCaffrey for 14 carries, 103 yards, and 1 touchdown. Have a day, my guy. Top receiver was Kittle for 7 catches, 126 yards. Have a day, my guy. Now let's go to some team stats. Total yardage for the Ravens, 343, while the 49ers had 429. Turnovers, 0 for the Ravens and 5 for the 49ers. Time possession, 31 minutes for the Ravens and 28 minutes for the 49ers. That being said, this puts the 49ers still holding out the number 1 spot in their division with 11-4 record. And the Ravens with the number 1 spot as well with a record of 12-3, holding out that number 1 spot in their division. Jerron, what are your thoughts on this game, man?
I'm torn. I think a lot of this was kind of fluky. I think Brock was doing too much. They got pretty good pressure on him. And then, like, the interceptions just happened. It just stacked up on him. I don't think it happens again this way if they play again. I think it's be a much more competitive game, much closer game. What I can say is they did this on the road in San Francisco.
Very impressive.
Which is impressive as hell.
Yeah.
Their defense balled out. They had 5 total interceptions, 4 sacks. But they played out of their mind, and I gotta put some respect on the Ravens. Like, Ravens are first class organization since they moved from Cleveland. They've been a first class organization, and they stepped up. Their team was ready. Harbaugh had his cats ready to go, feeling disrespected. and Lamar Jackson 20-1 against the NFC.
Mm-mm. And this right here was a little, you could say, a past Super Bowl matchup right here with the 49ers and the Ravens. And this game was hosted in New Orleans.
Yep.
And this could be a potential another Super Bowl preview right here as
Yep.
well for this year.
I will watch it.
Yeah,
Mm.
for sure.
Josh, what are your thoughts in this game, man?
Lamar MVP.
Mm.
He's leading the. He's a front runner.
So what happened to Purdy?
Purdy
4
was
interceptions.
as Cam Newton is a bus driver.
Man.
He's definitely a game manager, which is not. That's not. I don't see that as a shot. Because even
That's a shot. That's a shot.
Guys, because this time last week they were saying that this guy was the MVP.
I never understood why he was even in the conversation personally.
But
CMC is
the
most valuable player on the team.
But go ahead, man. My bad for interrupting, man.
No. Purdy, even those last 2 interceptions weren't necessarily. I wouldn't put on him. So Purdy was Purdy. But really, this is Ravens all day, every day. Defense was going insane. It was going crazy. I love to see it playing with high energy. The whole team has this chip on the shoulder. They play with it. The energy that they bring to the table. Lamar Jackson, his leadership, his athletic ability. He's gonna be a Hall of Famer one day, and we're gonna be watching. Our kids gonna be watching highlight tapes of him, throwback footage of him just doing crazy passes. He had this across the body pass that I was like, there's maybe 1 or 2 people in the world that's gonna make this pass.
Yeah,
but
he's going crazy.
Yeah, Lamar's going crazy. So shout out to the Ravens. I think they're going to be in Super Bowl this year for sure.
That is the best case scenario. Ravens win the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Out of everybody, I want to see a Ravens Bills championship game.
Yep.
Then I want to see Ravens 49ers. I think that's going to be the Super Bowl, and for as a Cowboys fan, the best scenario is for the Ravens to win it all.
Yeah.
Everybody else is kind of a spit in the face.
Yeah. This is one point of concern for me though, is them jokers do not catch the ball.
Yeah, they don't.
They be. I'm like, and they've always. It seems like for the last 5 years, they've had receivers who are constantly having drop balls. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with those receivers and their catching ability, but they gotta get that together.
Because really, in the highlights, man, like the Ravens didn't have any offensive play whatsoever spectacular in this game. It was the defense that won this game right here
For sure.
and the Ravens just had to manage the ball right in the offense side, but San Francisco put better numbers on the offense side of the ball than the Ravens did. But San Francisco, those turnovers, man, those turnovers is what the killed for them to win this game.
Yep.
But yeah, man, the Ravens went to San Francisco, man. Already, that's a tough place to play. And the outdoor, and it was cold outside. It was like 40 something degrees over there. And yeah, man, Ravens went over there, man, Monday night on Christmas.
Good game. Ravens.
Yep. All right, gentlemen, y'all have anything else from week 16, man? Can you believe it, gentlemen? Week 16 already? We only got 2 more weeks of football in the regular season, but we still got the playoffs and Super
Been
Bowl.
a fun season. It went by fast.
Yeah. Man.
Feels like it.
Yeah. And but other than that, man, y'all boys got anything else? All right, man, let's wrap up this episode right here. Thank you for tuning in to the Shield Football Podcast. On behalf of us, thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe, share, like this video if you haven't yet. And also, if you like to go just listen to us, go to Spotify and Apple Podcasts. But if you could do us a favor, go to YouTube and subscribe, and then go to Spotify, as that right there will help us to push the channel more right there. But other than that, gentlemen, we see y'all next week, and tune in next week. We'll be here, and DC won't be here, man. He ain't gonna be here for the next 2 weeks. He says he's too busy to getting drunk right now. But yeah, man. But hopefully, we see y'all and next year, basically. Yeah. So tune in next week's episode. And until then, later, guys.
Peace.
Peace.
Make a line!